Marketing is all about grabbing the attention and telling people what they need to know in a short period of time so that they then remember you later when they need you or they buy at that time. Hello, I'm Heather Blake, your host of the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast. However you want to look at it, marketing is necessary for any type of business. Now, marketing could be paid advertising, it could be organic online, it could be word of mouth programs such as a referral program or something like that. But the most important thing about marketing is making sure you tell your customer what they need to know at that moment, and you give them a reason to either buy now or later. So one of the things that we see that's marketing, we see it all the time. Anytime we're driving around or maybe riding a bus, whatever it is, we see billboards. Now, I have a major pet peeve with billboards. I think that too many people put too much information on a billboard. That is the number one form of marketing we see when we're, driving around doing our errands, picking kids up, dropping them off, whatever it is that we're doing, running to the grocery store. You see billboards everywhere. Now, for instance, like when I was driving my son to the doctor's the other day, there is this spot where you stop at a red light and then you immediately turn right, and there are 3 billboards, one next to the other. Especially having 3 billboards, one next to the other, you have very limited time to decide what you're looking at and reading. The average billboard, we have 4 to 6 seconds to look at. Think about that. Someone is driving by your billboard. They are paying attention to the road. They'll notice your billboard. You have to give them a reason to notice your billboard. You have to give them a reason to read your billboard. Now, this isn't just billboards. This is everything. You have to give them a reason to want to look at it and read it. But billboards and YouTube thumbnails, I believe we have 4 to 6 seconds to catch their attention and tell them what they need to know. So I want you to pay attention as you drive around or if you go around. Most billboards have way too much information on them. There's one that's in that spot that has a picture on it of a child and a parent. The child is in a car seat, and there's this big whole long statement. And then contact information. I cannot remember exactly what this billboard says, but it's something along the lines of check to see if your child has the proper car seat or restraint system. Then all the information about the company and that stuff. In 6 seconds, and there's 3 billboards there, how do I read that? Right? So the better option would be the picture of the child in the car seat with the parent there. I think that it was actually good attention grabbing, and it calls to your audience. If you are a parent, you notice a child in a car seat and a parent checking their buckles. So that's great. So maybe the billboard, the word should be correct car seat ? And then the company name or something allowing you to know who it's for, what company that you're going back to. That would be a lot more effective because it's going to take you a lot less time to understand what the billboard is for. There's another one that has a bunch of dogs on it. My little one, my 7-year-old, she notices that billboard every single time because she loves the husky. But I still, to this day, after I've probably driven by it 3 or 4 times in the last few weeks, and I could not even tell you what it's for. The third billboard is totally escaping my mind at this moment. That's right there. That tells you how memorable it was. All I remember was there was so much information on it that I couldn't focus on a single thing. Another example of a billboard that has too much information is it's actually for a technical school around here, and it lists off all the different areas of focus. It also lists off the contact information, and then there's a few other things that it says as well. That is too much to give to a person who has only 6 seconds to take that billboard in. You're better off with a curiosity angle when someone only has 4 to 6 seconds to read that billboard or that YouTube thumbnail. I'm telling you, YouTube thumbnails and billboards are the exact same thing, in my opinion. You need to have something that catches their attention and pique their curiosity on why they want to look into this further. If it's a YouTube thumbnail, that means that they want to click the video. If it's a billboard, that means they want to look you up. Now, I believe strongly that you do not need to put all of your contact information on a billboard. You do not need a phone number. You do not need all these things. Maybe a website, if your website is kind of difficult, but most likely, all you need to do is tell people who you are and they'll Google you. And you better make sure that you are searchable on Google. Now, this holds true for so many different things when it comes to marketing. You need to catch their attention and tell them why they should care. That is our number one mission. Why should they care? So many people try to do this wrong. I've watched so many ads and commercials where people are trying to be so innovative or so gimmicky or so, I don't even know, they're out there that they forget why the hell they're making this commercial in the first place. I had an example the other day when I was watching TV. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this. But I cannot remember it now at all. But I do remember one of the great examples that I thought when I watched some ads is the Charmin commercial for toilet paper. Also the Kleenex commercial for tissues. Both of them make great points on why you should care. You know, the bear who doesn't want sandpaper to wipe its butt and wants to get clean. It's a family of bears too. So they are marketing to families who want nice soft toilet paper, and there we go. That's what they want. I want my family to have nice soft toilet paper without having scratchy sandpapery type toilet paper to wipe their bottoms. That connects. Kleenex. They go through the cold symptoms and how you need a tissue that you don't blow through and how it's soft and all these things. Yeah, that connects. I want those things. I don't want to have to blow my nose and have to go straight through the tissue, right? I want to say that a lot of car commercials don't connect properly. Especially there's some truck commercials. I'm sure you'll know which ones I'm talking about, who show you dumping all this stuff in the trucks and climbing mountains, driving up the mountains like there's some sort of mountain goat that's scaling Mount Olympus. And they're going through this whole thing, and who does that? Very few people are dumping huge loads from a loader into the back of their pickup truck. That appeals to a very small audience. And I don't think any of us are trying to scale a mountain in our pickup truck like a mountain goat. So that to me doesn't connect. Another one. So I don't know if you've seen the Allspice commercials lately. Because it's football season, they're trying to connect with football fans. So the Allspice guy is like, do you want to smell like a football player? Is that really what connects you? You're thinking, in my day-to-day life, I want to smell like a football player? And so then they have all these famous football players, different people that are current football players. And I think they might even have one or two older football players. I can't remember. But do you want to smell like a football player? No. Is that what you think about in your day-to-day life? No, you think, I need a product that can get me clean. I'll smell nice. Isn't harsh on my skin. You have these different things that you think about when it comes to that. I can tell you, I have a football player, a 15-year-old football player, and he reeks. Seriously, when I pick him up from football some days, I don't even want to breathe. So how does that marketing of smell like a football player connect with anybody? Now, I'm giving you these examples to show you what not to do, because your mission as a business owner is to sell your product or your service. You need to provide for your family, and in order to do that, you need to sell your product or your service. No one can do that without traffic. That means eyes on wherever it is that you're selling it from. In order to do that, most people choose some form of marketing. You will not get the eyes on your store, your shop, your service page, whatever it is that you're doing, if you cannot figure out how to connect with somebody. You must connect with them on a level that makes sense to them. Being memorable is great, but not at the cost of them having no idea why they should buy your product. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't buy allspice, because I do. I do buy allspice some occasionally for things, but not because I want my family to smell like a football player. I buy that deodorant for my husband and my son sometimes because it's aluminum free. There's very few deodorants that are aluminum free and are at a reasonable price point for men right now that actually work, smell good. That is why I buy allspice, not because I want them to smell like a football player, because believe me, I do not want my son to smell like a football player. He already does, and he needs to shower sometimes twice a day, depending on football practice. So how do you connect with your customer or your client in a way that resonates with them? You first need to know what their struggles are, what their desires are, and you need to know how to talk to them in a way that feels authentic to them, in a way that's authentic to you. So I invite you this week, as you're driving around or as you're watching ads, as you're reading or seeing ads on TV, on your apps, on your phone, on your computer, take a look at those. And I want you to think about them. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? How would I do this better? Or how can I take what they did? How can I take what they did and implement that in my business? We can all learn from what people are doing right and what people are doing wrong. Now you know a lot of what people are doing wrong. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely my biggest pet peeve when it comes to marketing. I worked in marketing for years. I worked for a radio station. I was in sales. And I was selling advertisements, and a lot of times I'd be writing those advertisements for people. I was actually writing advertisements for other people's clients as well. I learned how to market my business over the last 20 plus years. My businesses. And I am telling you, so many people are doing it wrong. And that is why. Giving people too much information, trying to be too clever, and not focusing on why your customer or client wants to know and what they actually need to know. Why do they want to know this? And what do they need to know? Don't give them anything extra, just what they need. I'll see you next week on the Family First Entrepreneur Podcast.